bag he was carrying and rushed him, claws already unsheathed. Teresa let out a yelp as Kat dragged her out of the way. Aiden had been ready for the attack. He didn't want Teresa in a sexual way. He didn't want any female other than the one he'd lost. But he liked to rile up his jackass packmates fighting their mating instinct. Ryan had a future mate literally dropped into his lap, but the male was too damn stubborn to embrace the gift he'd been given with Teresa. For that alone, Aiden wanted to slice him up. Provoking him allowed Aiden to let loose his beast. Aiden didn't try to avoid the attack, but embraced Ryan's tackle. Letting the other lupine grab him, Aiden slammed his fist into Ryan's ribs. As he started pummeling his packmate, Ryan turned and slammed an elbow across Aiden's face. Instead of fighting the pain, he savored it. Nothing could compare to the agony he'd been carrying around for decades. He might put on a happy face for packmates, but every morning he woke up and that invisible knife embedded in his chest was still there. Time was supposed to lessen the pain of loss, or at least that's the bullshit he'd been told. And that's exactly what it was. Bullshit. Time just made it worse. He died a little every fucking day. Right now, he wanted to make someone else hurt, and Ryan was a convenient target. Rolling into the face slam, he came back strong, plowing his other fist across Ryan's jaw. His packmate flew back against the SUV with a loud thud, but bounced back immediately. Before Aiden could attack him again, something hard slammed against the side of his head. What the hell? He turned to see Kat with a long wooden sparring stick in her hands. Ryan laughed, then held up his hands protectively as Kat brought down the stick on him, too. It rapped against his knuckles, making the other male cry out in annoyance. "What the hell is wrong with you two? We've got shit to do and you're acting like pups." Kat held the sparring stick firmly in one hand as she glared at both of them. She'd been turned only a few months ago and was just in her 20s. She was young by human and shifter standards. Considering both he and Ryan were close to 200 years old, their behavior was that much more shameful. Out of the corner of his eye, Aiden kept tabs on Ryan, but watched Kat warily. He deserved everything she had to dish out. They shouldn't have been fighting right before a mission. Before either of them could respond, she held up a hand in warning. "I don't even want to hear it. Both of you, get in the car. Ryan, front seat. Aiden, back seat with Teresa. I am driving." Aiden could tell Ryan wanted to argue, but he nodded instead. His expression dark, the other shifter grabbed the laptop bag he'd dropped and rounded the vehicle without looking at Teresa. Aiden, however, wrapped an arm around her shoulders and squeezed. She looked close to tears, but she didn't say anything as she got in before him. Most of his male packmates thought he was a flirt and a player. Nothing could be further from the truth. He just hated seeing any female in pain, especially someone as sweet as Teresa. The drive to Winston-Salem was long and awkward. Thankfully, Kat turned on the radio, but that was pretty much the only conversation. Normally, they all played around with one another, but after what had happened, Aiden wasn't surprised at the silence. He also wasn't sorry for what he'd instigated. He was fucking tired of scenting Teresa's pain whenever Ryan gave her the cold shoulder or said something to hurt her feelings. It didn't even matter that it was unintentional. The thing was, Ryan was one of the most decent males that Aiden knew. He'd taken in an abandoned pup and adopted him as his own. And it was clear he had feelings, strong ones, for Teresa. It wasn't like he went out of his way to hurt her, but it seemed like he did more often than not lately. "We're almost there," Ryan said quietly as he clacked away at his laptop. He was going to stay behind and monitor their movements in the secret club that catered to supernaturals. Most of the others had already arrived and planned to break into the non-public area.